everybody, and welcome back to my channel. And if this is your first time here, hello, welcome. This is Essential Patience and I am Patience. And today we're making chocolate chip cookies. Most of the time I don't use a mixer, but I did have a finger injury. I've been saying this over and over again. So I have been trying to not put too much pressure. It still takes time to heal. It's probably gonna be months till it's fully healed. But until then, I'm just using what's available to me to ensure that I'm not putting too much pressure on the finger. You also just use a spatula or wooden spatula to mix it up yourself. You do not need a mixer, and most of the time when I bake cookies I don't use a mixer, but if you do have a mixer you can use it as well. We are going to use some brown sugar and then some granulated sugar. I have some chocolate chips here, but I'm also going to use baking bars, so I'm not going to use too many of them. I'm going to just balance it out. I am going to use some vanilla extract, some salt, baking soda, flour here, 2 brown eggs, it doesn't have to be brown, and some butter. So this is my homemade butter. If you've not seen how I made it, go watch the video. You're gonna need 1 cup for your dry ingredients, 1 tablespoon, 1 teaspoon, and 1 cup if you need to measure out your butter. But if you're not measuring out your butter, you can already use store-bought butter. It's already measured out for you. So let's get going. I just want a delicious treat, and it's getting late, but I wanted to film it since I'm already doing it. Okay, let's start with washing our hands. We always need to wash our hands when we start. Okay, now that we are here, we're gonna start with the butter. So I don't know if this is exactly 1 cup. Let's hope it is, but I'm gonna just cut it. I'm gonna melt it. You don't have to melt it if you already have the pre-measured one, but you need about 1 cup. I'm eyeballing it, and I'm just gonna melt it in the microwave for precision purposes. About 1 minute, and while that is going, you can still use this time to measure out 1 cup of sugar. I like to lower the sugar content a little bit, and that's one of the reasons why I like to bake at home. But if this is your first time doing this, follow the recipe exactly, and then once you get used to it, you can decide how much you want to use. But for the sugar, you need 1 cup of granulated sugar and 1 cup of brown sugar. But I'm just going to lower it a little bit because I'm trying not to eat as much sugar, okay? But if this is your first time, use 1 cup. For the packed brown sugar, you're gonna have to get it out. It's packed. If you see me eyeballing anything, please know that it does take a while to get used to that, and you know what you want. But with a packed brown sugar, you want to make sure it's packed all the way. And then what you want to do is you want to level it, right? You'll see in other things that I do, I will be leveling. Okay, this is our butter. It's not quite 1 cup, so this time it's going to be easier. All I'm going to do is just put it till it hit that 1 cup mark. Oh my goodness, did I measure 1 cup exactly? I'll be so proud of myself if this is exactly 1 cup, because that was what I was trying to do with 1 cup of butter, and I think I did it. I didn't even measure anything. Which I don't understand why. I have a scale. I should probably use it. Okay, I was almost right. Just a little bit left for that 1 cup of butter. Yay! I'm still gonna save this. Okay, so we have 1 cup of butter, and I'm going to go ahead and pour it in the sugar. When this goes in, you can start mixing it on low, but I'm not going to do that because of the sound. It's gonna block the sound of the video. If you're baking, it's not a good idea to crack the eggs directly into your container. And here's why. It ends up with a shell in there. It's just stuck with a shell. So instead, do it into a clean and clear container. And if there is a shell, you can see it. No shells. Okay, I'm going for the next one. Perfecto. I'm just gonna put this to the side. I'm not gonna put it in here because I don't want it to be cooked. We are also going to measure out our dry ingredients. 3 cups of flour. And this one, I'm not eyeballing. Do not eyeball flour. Sugar's one thing, flour, and everything else is another. So I level it 1 cup. This is gonna be the 2nd cup. Leveled off, 2 cups. Great. And then for the 3rd cup, it's this. Okay, and now I'm going to level it out. 3rd cup. And next we need some baking soda. So this is some baking soda, and I just need 1 teaspoon. We're gonna level this off as well. 1 teaspoon. And then we need about half a teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna eyeball this slightly because I don't wanna get another half a teaspoon in here. And use regular salt, please. Do not use sea salt. I just like it to be slightly on the fancy side. This is about half a teaspoon. And we're gonna mix it. And now it's all coming together. I'm going to start slowly. I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract in here. I'm going to slowly add the eggs, then the flour, and then the last but absolutely not the least is chocolate chips. So typically if I'm just using this, I'll use a full cup, but I'm only gonna use half because I have baking bars and I'm going to put these baking bars in there. So make it like chocolate chip or chocolate chunk cookies as well. I'm gonna start this. It's gonna probably be weird to hear me, but it's gonna be all right. And just something I've learned to do when using a mixer for these types of things is to go in there and just scoop out the under. Sure that the under is not being, essentially not mixed with the other ingredients. You can just break these up into the size of you want. Or chop it. I was gonna chop it, but I was like, you know what? Why do that when I can just have big chunks in there? Okay, you all, this is pretty much mixed. And at this stage, I'm going to be feeding the flour in, the flour mixture, or the dry ingredients. And I don't want to do it all at once, but I also don't want it to be too slow. So I'm just gonna add in about 5 scoops at a time and just give it time to mix. But as it goes, I'm just gonna keep adding. And I'm gonna start slow. You don't want to do too much because then the flour will just fly out. Okay, I'm just gonna pop this open. See this, and I'm gonna add the rest. I'm gonna close it and I'm gonna let it go. Here you all, let's pick it back up. Look at how smooth the dough is. Like, this one is so good. Let's put it down and continue just for a little while longer. Okay, well, this is it. That's one of the downsides of using a mixer. You essentially have to clean up more. You can also use your hand to scrape everything. I have certainly done that. Okay, that's more than enough. It's enough. Let me just put this, so that's about 1 cup of chocolate chips, dump it in there, and I'm just gonna mix it. You can add as much chocolate chips or as little as you would like. As I'm mixing it, I'll show you what the dough becomes. This is what it looks like now. I personally don't taste the dough. I know some people do. Personally, not my thing. All you have to do now is either bake it, but I don't want to bake it right away. I'm going to put this in the freezer. I'm going to cover this, put it in the freezer, and wait a little while longer to bake some. So I don't bake it all at once. Instead, I divide them up, and as the days go on, I just bake a couple or so per day. And depending on how big or small you make them, you can get quite a good amount of cookies from this. Even if you're making super large ones, sometimes I do use this to bake a chocolate chip pie, chocolate chip cupcakes, share those recipes in the future. But essentially, I'm just gonna put it in the freezer in this container right now, and it will even make it easier than I am ready to section out. It just works better when the dough is firmer. And there you have it. It's covered. It's going straight into the freezer, and then I'm gonna take it out later, divide it. I don't know if I'm gonna show all of that on camera, but I probably will show the final results when I do bake them later tonight. This is what it looks like. I'm about to put it in the freezer, and over here I'm just baking these 3 tonight, and it's gonna be my dessert. So as you can see, these are more firm and they were easy to come out of the container. And I'm gonna leave these in the freezer as one, just bake as the weeks go on. So in total, these can make about 24 cookies. These are much larger, okay? These are quite large cookies, and these are also a little bit on the bigger side, but if you do the thinner side, you can make about 24 cookies. Thank you all so much for watching my video. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so you can not miss out on any of my future videos. Try this recipe, let me know if you like it. Chocolate chip cookies are very easy to make. These are so much cheaper and healthier than getting it at the store. If not for anything else, you're definitely missing out on the preservatives. And if you go buy a good chocolate chip cookie from the bakery, you're paying so much money just for a few versus making this at home. And I will calculate how much this entire batch costs at the end card so you can see it, as well as more details of the recipe in general. So come back this Friday for my non-food related videos, financial conversation, and come back next Tuesday for another recipe that will be waiting for you. Thank you all again, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.